Guys, welcome to the Rise and Grind podcast. This is a very special episode. It's a very special episode for a multitude of reasons, to be honest. Obviously, this is the very first episode that we're going to be doing today. And because it's the very first episode, you already know I had to get a very special guest in the building. I go by the name of Mr. Muller. You don't really need an introduction, do you, my friend? You're like, if you don't know who this is, yeah, you're going to get to know today. But yo, welcome to the podcast, my bro.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate you bringing me on, man.
Yeah, man. Do you want to just let the people know who you are?
Yo, I'm Kaz. I'm a poet. I do music. I got a clothing brand. I'm a camera operator. I work in the TV industry. Bit of everything. I like to think of myself as a little bit of an entrepreneur or something like that, man. A creative.
You're very humble though, because you do a lot, man, bro. You genuinely do a lot.
I appreciate
bro.
it, man.
It's crazy the work ethic that you've had over the years, and you know, because I've known you for so long, just watching you actually develop and grow and do all of these different things, it's inspiring, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I appreciate that, bro. It means a lot, man. Thank you.
100%. So, do you want to kind of just tell a story here? Because for the people that may not know me and the people that may not know yourself, in your words, how is it that you would tell the story of how we know each other from like your earliest memory to now, to this
Bro,
point?
I just remember being in nursery with you, man.
Yeah,
we got pictures as well, bro. We got picture proof, man. You have to whack that in the podcast. But yeah, we used to be in nursery together, reception, all of primary, all of secondary, kept in touch with each other. We've lived a sort of similar journey, grew up in the same area, done our own businesses, pushed ourselves, similar mindset. It's like full circle moment, and we're back here now.
No,
it's
100%.
mad. It was like yesterday. I was about 6 years old.
I know, bro. Do you know what's crazy? I was thinking about this before I did the first episode of this, and I was like, yo, what is my earliest memory of Kaz? Obviously, I remember you in nursery, and then I remember like basically, for the people that won't know this, there was two schools right next to each other. So there's St. Paul's, right, and there was Priory Green. So we both went to Priory Green Nursery, right? And then I think I drafted over to St. Paul's at some point, and I believe it was like year 3 or 4 where you then drafted from Priory Green to St. Paul's. Now, what you won't know, right? This was a big deal back a day, you know. Like, everyone knew who you was. Everyone's like, yo, Kaz is coming, Kaz is coming. I'm talking like this was like a CR7 to Real Madrid level transfer, bro. 80 million on the line and that. So everyone's already getting gassed. They're like, oh, Kaz is coming over, fam. I'm gassed. Obviously, the football team's gassed because we heard that you was a baller as well. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but my earliest memory, I remember seeing you sitting on the desk, Everyone's like bombarding you, asking for autographs and that. I've come over and I was like, yes, Kaz. Well, go on, you remember me? And you looked at me and you went, nah.
Oh, man, why you do me like that?
I was thinking, Rob, like, yo, we go way back. Don't let me bust out the baby picture. Yeah, man, it's crazy how time's literally gone on, and we've still been
it's gone so fast. Yeah, those days feel like yesterday, man. I remember playing school football team and everything with you, man. In midfield and
we was in the midfield. We ran that midfield as well.
All right, man. We was good.
I swear that. Well, we only lost like 2 games that year.
He was a goal scorer, man. I was the assistant.
He was, yo, bro. It was like David Silva and KD being one team, bro.
It was good, man.
It's proper good stuff. But okay then. So pretty much then, tell a story for me then, and just fill in for the audience, especially with me, what you've been doing then. So you went to Priory Green Nursery, then you went to St. Paul's, high school, St. Peter's. What is it that you study in school?
So at school, I was just like, I was one of them ones. I was naughty in it at school. You know, bro. I used to fuck about a lot at school.
We both were, man.
We used to mess about. Who's in the same form? Do you remember? We used to mess about. I feel like I was one of those kids that like I'd apply myself in lesson to an extent, but we'd always try and be the class clown, wouldn't we? We would always try to be the funny ones, and we'd always fuck about. But I'm allowed to swear on the podcast,
Of course, bro. Yo, do your thing, man. It's a safe space.
I just used to mess about, and I feel like I never knew where I wanted to go in life, but I knew I was a creative individual. I knew like I'd have little side hustles in secondary school. I remember me and my boy, Rai, we used to spray paint controllers. That was like the first thing I did.
Yeah.
I just knew I always wanted to make money or do something creative. So we used to spray controllers, did that. Tried it for like once or twice, got bored of it. It was one of them ones, but I always knew I wanted to do something. I was always into my sports, but I never knew what direction in life I wanted to go in. So I just mess about at school, really. And then after school, got the grades that I wanted to get. Didn't get into sixth form because of my behavior, but I'm kind of glad it was a blessing in disguise, because I feel like for me as a creative, I couldn't sit there and do an exam for an hour and a half, man.
Nah, I was like that
Yeah,
too, to
I
be honest.
needed to do something. I need to create something and like be a visual learner, man. So, in a way, I went to college and that was a blessing. Didn't really have much of a choice. Didn't really think it through much. Didn't know what I wanted to do at college. Went there, went to the, what's it called, like where they have all the courses and that, and you could see what you want to do. Me and my dad went, and I was like, just walked past the media bit, and I was like, yo, I like cameras. I do a bit of camera stuff. So I was like, yo, fuck it, man. I was gonna go down the typical route of engineering and that typical brown boy route in it. I was like, gonna do a bit of engineering, this, that, but I knew my heart wasn't in it, man. And I was like, I'm not gonna force myself to do something
Nah,
I don't want.
you did the right thing because
Mm,
you went for a decision that you made through your heart and you
mm.
followed your passion, bro. And I feel like now it's probably led you to some of these journeys and
That was it,
places that you've
man.
been to.
And it's like, I just thought, you know what, let's give it a go. If I don't like the course, I don't like the course. But I feel like something was meant to be. My heart was drawing me towards that.
Yeah.
And that's then brought out my creative expression and loads of other things of like come off the back of that, which is nice. But it never would have happened if I just went with the engineering route or whatever. I sort of went out my comfort zone and was like, I'm going to take a risk and just see where I want to go.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the motto of, that's literally the slogan of the podcast. As you can see, no risk, no reward. So you have to just take that leap. What would you say though? Like, where do you find that level of thinking where it just makes you want to be creative? What is it that you feel like is something that caused that?
I felt like since I was a kid, I was always destined for more. I used to go around when I was like 7, 8 years old with a camcorder, filming myself, just talking about stuff, always saying I'll write a book when I'm older. I just knew I wanted to do something creative. I wanted to try everything. And I feel like I just I just didn't want to grow up and have like that typical 9 to 5 and just kill my dreams type thing. I wanted to like push myself to leave an impact on the world. I knew that from young. I just felt it from young. And I never always had that mindset of like to stick through with it. It was a difficult journey, man. It's like when you're younger, you think, yeah, I'm just gonna go uni, I'm gonna do college, I'm gonna do this and that, and you kind of fall into that natural pattern. But I felt like when I got to about 16, 17, you start to give up a bit, man. You think, oh, I just go down the normal route.
Yeah.
But it's tough to sort of maintain that mentality, and it's got better and better over the years.
Nah,
But
100%, bro. I
yeah.
think when I was leaving school, right, I was always stuck in this hard place myself because, like you, I was a practical person, and at the time, nobody on God's green earth could tell me that I was not going to be an actor when I left school. Like, I was so tunnel visioned on just like being on like the next Top Boy or the next Power that no one could tell me or convince me that, yo, you might have to like get a 9 to 5 or something first just to fund your dreams. But like, I just didn't want to hear it at the time. So I kind of went through a similar place with you where I felt a bit lost. Do you know what I mean? I was just trying to find the way and find what I was as a person. I feel like, especially like as young men, yeah, you kind of have to find out what it is you want to achieve and what your goals and ambitions are for you to fully understand what it is to be a man.
100%. There was so many things that I wanted to do. There's things that I've been successful at. There's things that I failed at. But I wanted to try everything because you don't know until you try it, innit? But so many people try to talk you out of it. Like when I wanted to do music, when I wanted to write a book, when I wanted to get into the TV industry, people project their own insecurities onto you because there's no safety net when you're doing stuff like that. You're taking a risk. You're doing it not knowing. When I wrote a book, when I got into the TV industry, I didn't know what plan there was. I was just like, I'm going to do it. And I believed it in my heart and it's paid off. But so many people will try and talk you out of it just because they don't see themselves doing it. But you can't ever lose that creative spark. If you're destined, you feel like you're destined for something, man. You got to follow it. Anyone who's creative, I always try and push them or help them in some way.
That's the
People,
thing,
yeah,
bro. You kind of have to like put a clear plan in place, right? And then I feel like there was a saying that someone said to me one time, and it stuck with me so much. And it was like, um, I forgot what it was now, but it did stick with me for ages. It was like, ambition without action is just dreams or
that's it,
something like
man.
that.
Yeah,
And that stuck with me so much because I was just like, well, it's so true, right? Because if you're not gonna actually, it's all good just saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But if you're not actually gonna go put the work in,
that's it, man.
it's just dreams and aspirations that you're never gonna achieve. So it's all about really just making sure that you can stick to something and then go and graft and get it.
That's it. So many people dream big, but then when they get to like, I don't know, about 17, 18, reality hits them and then they just give up, man. And it's
Yeah,
like,
man.
why are we, when we were kids, we had these massive dreams, but now as adults, we don't
Yeah,
believe that we can achieve them now because people
100%.
give up too easily. They let reality kick in. and then you're just living a half-filled life where you're not reaching your full potential, man. But
Exactly,
you
bro.
don't know what's in you until you chase it.
Yeah, I've seen some people, yeah, where they've started like achieving their goals at like 30, 40 plus.
Mm.
Like a lot of people give up when they're like 17, 18. Your life has just started. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. That's. I think we both struggled with that as well. Cause like, you're 25, I'm 24 now. I feel like even now you feel like, oh, I haven't achieved much at 24, but there's no perfect age to achieve everything. There's people, like you said, who hit a millionaire status in 40, 30. Your 20s are a building stage for that. You got to set the foundation right. It's like building a house on a shit foundation, man. That's what your 20s are. If you just party and going out drinking this and that, you're not gonna have a stable foundation. So just literally get disciplined, lay down a nice foundation in your 20s. It will start paying off in its 30s and 40s, and that's where you start reaping the rewards. It's like planting the seed in your 20s. You'll start seeing it grow in your 30s and 40s. But social media plays a big part in that nowadays. We see TikTok, we see Instagram, and we think, man, I should be hitting a mill by 27. It don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that.
I had to learn this the hard way, even with like the music, bro. Like there's certain like goals that I had to reach by a certain age, and then I had to like understand that reality isn't always like that. Like for me, right, I was like 18 saying, yo, at 25 I'm gonna be a millionaire, and I ain't got a million yet.
Yeah,
So
that's it,
you
man.
know what I mean? Like you just have to like understand that you go through your own separate journey in life, and as long as you're doing the work, yeah, eventually then you'll get there. Do you know
That's
what I
it,
mean?
man. You just got to plant the seed and keep watering it, man. There'll be days
100%.
you don't feel like watering it. There'll be days you don't water it, but you just got to keep watering it and it'll pay off, man.
100%,
It'll
my
pay
bro.
off.
What does talk me through then a day in the life of Kaz? What does Kaz like to do in his spare time?
But I feel like I'm quite a disciplined person. I wasn't always, but I'm quite heavily disciplined. Some might say it's extreme. I think it's a bit extreme sometimes, but it works for me. Do you get me? So like, at most days I get up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I like to do that because I have that time for
Have you
myself.
read that book, 5 a.m. Club?
Nah, I haven't read
I
that.
feel like you should,
Yeah,
That'll
I'll
be
have to
right
add
up
that
your
onto
alley.
my list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But I get up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning just because I like that space and time to myself. I get up, I pray, you seen on my stories, I have ice baths in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, a cold shower if I don't have an ice bath, and I like to just get my mind set. So many people get up and they're just like rushing, and then you're not set for the day. So I get up, I have my supplements, I pray, I do my stretches, I do my foam rolling recovery and stuff. I'll go and hit the gym for the first 2 hours of the day. And for most of the day, I don't go on social media for the first section just because I want a clear mind when I wake up. I don't go straight on my phone. And I'll go and hit the gym. I'll do a sauna session. And then, yeah, I'll have a cold shower after that. And then I'll try and read a bit. And then I'll go to work. My work's different because it's like I work as a freelancer in the TV industry. So my schedule won't always be like that every day, but I'll try and keep it as close to that as I can. But yeah, and then I'll go and work Monday to Friday in the TV industry. I'm currently working on MasterChef, so I'm filming on that. So
How are you finding
yeah,
that?
it's good, man. It doesn't feel like work, and that's what I've always wanted in life, man. I go there. I don't dread going in any days. I'm like, I look forward to it, man. I'm literally got a camera on my shoulder filming all day. That is what I want to do. That's what I've been doing since young. You go to any family functions, everyone used to give me the camcorder and they were like, yo, can you film this? I feel like it's something I've been doing for ages, but it was like the seed was always planted from when I was young. I just
Yeah.
didn't see it until I was older.
So
But
then how did you even like get into sort of like doing this line of work then? What is it that how'd you get your foot in the door?
so I went to college, I did media, and then I started getting a love for it. And I was like, you know what I liked about it? I like telling a story. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sharing people's stories or creating a story to tell. Life's all about stories, man. And if I could impact someone's life in some way by showing them that story, that's my job done, man. That's what I've always wanted to do.
100%.
So then I went to uni. Bit of a waste of time uni is. I can't, in my opinion. Did media there, and then I sort of just applied for a job role in the TV industry. I just went for it. I saw it. Had no experience, no nothing. I bullshit my interview, and I said this to the people that interviewed me because I'm good friends with them now. And I was like, when you interviewed me, I didn't know what I was doing, but I spoke like I knew what I was doing because I knew in my heart I want to do the role. And then yeah, first 2 weeks I was a camera assistant on a show with Richard Hammond, and I was learning on the job. And by the end of it, they were like, yo, you know what you're doing, you're good at what you do. And it was like, I took that risk. I could have been like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm bullshitting it. But it's like your logo, like your slogan says, take the risk, man. If you don't take that risk, you'll never know. And then it just sort of went from there. I got more TV jobs because in the TV industry, it's word of mouth. If you do a good job or you leave a good impression or you're a good person, they'll be like, yo, shout Kaz, he does a good job. It's like that. And I love it, man. It's a great industry to work in because like I'm creating art, man, creating entertainment for people. I mean, I don't watch TV much myself,
Yeah.
but I love it, man. People love all the TV shows that I work on, and I love working with the people in the industry, man. It's good.
That's the thing, and the links that you build along the way is crazy as well because you've got so many different people that you've met, and you know, I feel like a lot of people don't actually understand, right, how useful having other people can be to your life, your business, or whatever you sort of want to do. The main thing what I try to be now is I try to add value to anyone that I'm associating with because you never sort of know what value that you bring into that person can then help benefit you later down the line. So no, that's the beautiful thing about the line of work that you do, to be
There's
honest, bro.
always something to learn from someone, man. That's what
Yeah.
I've always thought. And I've grown up and there's no one around me that's been in the creative industry. There's no one that's took the risks around me. I've not had anyone to look up to. You know, I started the clothing brand myself,
Yeah,
started the
100%.
book myself. I never had anyone to turn to say, where'd you go? Who'd you shout? What'd you do? I've done all the research myself. And it's like,
Sorry to cut you off, bro.
nah,
Just for the people that don't know then. So you started off the clothing brand. What is the clothing brand that you started off?
So the clothing brand I got is called Rich Minds, and it's all about empowering your mind, just getting a good mentality, good mindset, living a disciplined life. And I just want to create a good community of like-minded people who can help push each other to grow. That's always been the goal with it. When I started it off at 18, I was kind of like a young, naive kid. I just wanted to start off a clothing brand and make some money type thing. So I was like, what do I call it? I was like, yo, Rich Minds. Like, you know what Miss did with Sick Made? I wanted to do something like that because I was doing music at the time. And I was like, I want to create a brand to link it with my music. So I was like, go with Rich Minds. Back then, I wasn't embodying what I wanted Rich Minds to be. Back then, it was just a money brand.
Yeah.
You saw the logo, it was just money, the brain, this and that. Yeah, now it's evolved into a discipline like sort of brand, discipline based brand all about motivating disciplining yourself and living a good healthy lifestyle. But I felt like it's changed because I went from an 18-year-old kid money based brand to now I'm a disciplined guy. I'm living the brand that I'm representing. I wasn't doing that before, so that's why it's more genuine now. And I feel like you gotta live it, man. You can't just do it for the money. You gotta have some passion and love behind it.
100%, bro. And I feel like that's the important thing because when you're making these brands and you're presenting these things to people, it has to be a fair reflection of what you actually truly believe and what you stand for. And I feel like as young 18, 17-year-old kids with dreams and aspirations, a lot of the time when we do things like starting a clothing brand, it's just because we want to kind of get out of the situations that we're in rather than because we believe the message that we're putting out to our audience. So even when I started my clothing brand, I just kind of wanted to do it like Trapstar. Do you know what I mean? Because I was just thinking, I know that works. So if I can mimic Trapstar and then appeal to people that dress like me, talk like me, walk like me, and act like me, then it should blow up. But that wasn't the mentality that I should have had at the time. It was, what message do I want to put out there? How am I going to meet people of my target audience and relate to them? And what lasting impression do I want the brand to have in the future? Do you know what I mean? So even in the future when I start to, you know, because I definitely probably will take the route of going back down the clothing brand alley. But right now, obviously, Rise and Grind podcast, that is the focus. And, you know, we're going to try and see what we can do with that. But your book as well, talk me through how you sort of had even the mentality and the mind frame to just one day say, you know what, I'm going to write a book. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm going to actually just go write down what I think in my head and I'm going to bring it to life. Talk me
So
through
it's a
that.
weird one, man. It's like I started music first. I wanted some form of expression. I did music and it was like I enjoyed it. It was good, but I didn't feel like I was getting the message that I wanted to get out there. I wasn't being as authentic as I wanted to be. I was just sort of doing what I thought people would want to listen to type thing. And then I was like, I've always wrote poetry since I was a kid. Like I'm talking young. Like my mom found old poems from when I was like 7, 6 years old. Like
Swear.
seriously,
No
like
way.
it's that old. And then I've done it through school and stuff. And I've always wrote and never thought about releasing. I always knew I'd write a book, but I never knew what it would be about. I set that intention from when I was young. I just said one day I'll write a book. Never knew it'd be a poetry book. So I've been writing poetry all my life, just as a form of expression. I've always journaled. I always feel like it helps with your
Yeah,
mental state.
100%.
You gotta sort of release the thoughts and feelings out, not just good and not just bad, but the good as well. So I feel like I just did poetry, and then it got to a stage where I think it was December 2023. I think I just did like a poem a day or something like that. And I just banged out loads of poems. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put it into a book, but I was gonna do it for myself. I was like, let me just put it in a book and do it for myself. Then I fell in love with the whole process of putting this book together. And then I was like, it kind of goes with the message that I want to do is I just want to impact people's lives, bro. I want to help people grow. I want to help people see something. It's the same with the music I did. It's the same with the clothing I did. It's the same with the short films I made, the TV I do. I want to impact someone's life in a way where they see it and they're like, you know what, that's inspired me. I want to make some change, or that's inspired me to do this. And that's what I wanted to do with the book. I was like, I want to help people through life, man. I want someone to relate to at least one poem in the book. I don't care if they don't like anything else. If they see one poem and it connects with them and they're like, you know what, that's helped me through this time, then there's no other better feeling, bro. I've had people message me about music saying that song helped me. And it's like, that's all I want to do. So then the book came together within a month. I literally just banged it all out. There's no chapters or nothing in there. I literally just said, it's my mind in a book. Because there's no, like with healing books, I feel like there's chapters of like, you're in a shit stage, then you're healing and then you're healed. You're never truly healed, in my opinion. I feel like you're always growing, you're always learning. So there's no chapters in my book. It's just like one poem could be about love, happiness, then there could be a really sad poem, and it just evolves like that. It's whatever the mind's never happy all the time, is it? So then I wrote that within a month, did the cover and everything. It was ready to be self-published last year, but then I was so eager to get it out. I was like, let's just take a breather. I sent it to a few publishers. I got, I think, 4 contracts. And I went with one of them, and I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. I want to get it out there to the biggest crowd that I can, get it in shops and stuff, and do it properly. So then, yeah, so it should be out this year in like Waterstones and stuff like that, and it'll be on the website. I think it's the publishers that I've signed with are called Austin Macaulay Publishers. They're London based, so I'm hoping to reach a big audience and change some lives, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. I can't lie. I do rate that highly, for everybody that is, watching, the book is right there. So make sure when he does drop this, everyone goes and gets the book, read it, let him know your thoughts and opinions about it, and, really, really like take it in, because I feel like there's definitely going to be a message in there. And I know you, so I know there's going to be a message in there.
It's deep, man. It's good. It takes you on a journey, and
Yeah.
I've always been very critical of my work. I've always, like with my music, I've never actually said, you know what, that song was like the best, like out of my music. I was like always hesitant when I did clothing. I was like, that design's not the one, man. I've never believed in it fully.
Yeah.
With this, I could say I put my heart and soul into it, and I
And that's the
believe
main
in it.
thing.
And it's like, it's called poetic gibberish because I always feel like I've got something philosophical to say. But in my mind, I feel like when I'm saying it, like when I'm talking now, it just comes out as gibberish. But in my mind, I feel like I know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
now
But
100%. I
that's
understand
why I
where you're
called
coming
it that.
from with that. But yeah, I rate that, bro. Who are some of like the people that you use for like motivation in your life?
So for me, I look up, my dad's probably my biggest motivation. I'd say he's changed his life around huge. And I feel like if you've got a good parent figure in your life, if you're lucky enough to have, which I'm grateful for. He changed his life around and he's hit the gym. He gets up at 5 o'clock. He does this and that. And it's like, it's motivated me to do that, man. It's made me think like, I want to follow in his footsteps. Like,
I
and
can't I
yeah,
can't lie, from the few memories that I've got of your pops. Like even I used to look at him back a day and just think, yo, I want to be like him, bro. Because
yeah,
he even had the what was it now? The football team that
yeah,
was
yeah.
Casuals? Casual,
Casuals, yeah. He
yeah,
used to
bro.
manage it, yeah.
Bro, I remember one day, I think I was playing in mid, and I think I got subbed out, right? I did score in this game, and like he pulled me to the side and he just gave me like some confidence boost. He was like, "Yeah, your game's good," like blah blah blah. And I went home, I was gassed. I was
Oh,
like,
that's
"Yeah."
mad. That's a nice memory, man.
Nah,
I
for
didn't
real,
know
bro. I was
that,
like,
yeah.
"Yo, Kaz's dad is just giving me the stamp of approval that I'm like the next Mbappe." I mean, so yeah,
Yeah.
man, big up your pops, bro.
Nah, he's a big inspiration in my life, man. And I feel like he's pushed me to be a better person as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and then he put me, I remember when he sat me down and he made me listen to the David Goggins podcast in lockdown.
Yeah, you put me on David Goggins, by the way.
That was a big shift for me. It was like I was in a transitional period in 2020, just before lockdown, where I was like getting into a better mindset, hitting gym, doing all the sort of disciplined things, but I wasn't fully committed, you know what I mean? And he sat me down and he showed me this David Goggins interview, and I feel like It either clicks with you or it doesn't. I know people who I've made sit down and listen to it and they're like, that's not for me. And then some people who are like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to hit the gym now. Do you know what I mean? And it's like he shifted something in my mindset where it was like I wanted to test myself. I wanted to come to terms with the things I wasn't happy with within myself and push myself to be better rather than just avoid it. Do you get me? So many people look at themselves in the mirror and they're like not happy with their weight, not happy with this and that, but they'll avoid it instead of doing something about it. You got to face your demons, man. You can't keep hiding them. Do you know what I mean? You got to push yourself.
The only way to move forward in life is to really just accept some of the bad stuff you may have went through,
That's
and
it,
just
man.
look and see how you're going to overcome those obstacles in the future. Do you know what I mean?
And he just something that he said just resonated with me. He was like, he drives past the graveyard and there's so many people in there that never hit their full potential. And I was like, I knew inside I could. There's a version of me, like a higher version of me, a better version of me that is just in there and I need to unlock. And everyone's got it, but so many people don't unlock it or they're too scared to like push themselves to unlock it. So then that took me on a journey where I used him as fuel but I applied it to my own life. And yeah, man, that just made me the disciplined individual I am now. I was like, I push myself to go gym in the morning. I push myself to live a clean, healthy lifestyle. And it's made me a completely different person to what I was like pre-lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Me and that person, two completely different people, man.
I feel like that's the thing though, because we should never be able to look back at points of our lives and we can say that we haven't changed or we haven't grown, because life, we're constantly evolving, or we should be constantly evolving. And I feel like even myself, when I look back at some of the stuff that I used to do, like, you know, pre-lockdown, I'm a completely different guy now. Even this year alone, like, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's because my birthday passed and I got a year older, but January 1st, I just looked at myself one day in the mirror and I was like, yo, am I happy with how my life is right now? No. Am I happy with how my life is going? No. What am I going to do then to change that? Because it can't just be a case of, oh, well, by June, hopefully I can start this, because realistically, why can't I start it tomorrow? Why can't I start it right now? Do you know what I mean? And I just had that wake up call. Like, I feel like every man goes through this though at some point of your life, where I remember my brethren's dad said this to him, and then he said this to me, and it's always stuck with me. And Camille, if you're listening to this, shout out to you. But he said it was like one day, especially when it comes to making money, it's almost like you're standing on the corner with your friends, the people that you're usually chilling with, and you're just doing the same dumb stuff that you usually do every day. And one day, you look left around the corner, and you see some people. Let's just say, for example, maybe they've got a lemonade stand, and then you're looking at that lemonade stand, and they're selling it, they're working hard, making their own money, and you think, well, I don't really want to just throw this ball at the wall with you guys anymore now. I've looked around the corner, I've seen these guys are grafting, they're making money. Maybe I want to walk around this corner and see what it is now. And then once you understand the game, then you think, well, there's no point me going back now. I'm going to keep walking forward. Maybe this corner's got some other information that I need to know. Maybe this corner's got some other information. And I feel like that's the moment that I had personally this year, where I started talking to more different people in better sort of life. I guess they were just living better lives than myself. And
Yeah.
when you sort of like compare yourself, you think, okay, so what are they doing that I'm not, and what do I need to improve?
So the best thing to do is you got to surround yourself by people who are a couple levels ahead of you, man. Otherwise, you're just never going to improve. But so many people don't do that because it brings out their own insecurities, man. They just feel like the ego kicks in and they don't want to be around people who are doing better than them because it just makes them feel like they're doing shit. But you can use it as fuel, man. I try and surround myself with people who are doing better than me. I mean, I've always grown up my life being friends with like 30, 40-year-olds. All my dad's mates, all the people who go to the gym, they're all in their 40s. Everyone I work with, they're all in their 40s. So I'm learning from elders, man. I don't really have many friends my age, man. Probably got you and like 3 others. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's what
But
happens,
it's
bro.
like you evolve quicker and your mentality changes a lot more, man. And when you're sitting in rooms with people like that, you'll elevate yourself a bit more.
Bro, you can tell just from like the conversation I'm having with you now that you've had a bunch of older people around you to give you advice, because I've had the same thing. Even when I was like 18 and I was doing my acting, like these are memories I will never forget because it made me who I am now. But like we do like days where we're on set from like 8 a.m. in the morning all the way till 11 p.m. at night, just banging out a whole day's shoot. And then as we're wrapping up, everyone's clapping, we're getting gas, we're like, yeah, good day's work, guys. And everyone's just like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? So, oh, I'll just take a day off, bro. To be fair, like I ain't really got no shoots. And I remember my cameraman at the time, he's come up to me and he's like, "Oh, so what are you doing?" I was like, "I got work, bro." Like, you get me? I got my 9 to 5, G. And he's like, "What? You mean to tell me you've just been grafting from 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. and then you've got to go do a 9 to 5?" He's like, "Yo, personally, bro, I rate the hustle, but I could never live a life like that again." And that motivated me that day. I was like, yo, there is more to life than me just sitting at a desk, yeah, doing work for some geezer that don't even know I exist. Do you know what I mean? So that's how kind of how I think now. But what are some of your like dreams and aspirations?
I got huge dreams, man. I always dream big.
Yeah.
I try and keep that inner child in me that dreams big, man. Like I want to publish this book. I've already got ideas for another book and another book after that.
Give me 2 separate answers then, yeah? So
Yeah.
give me some of your dreams and aspirations that you hope to accomplish by the end of this year.
Okay. Yeah.
And then give me an answer that you hope to achieve by, let's say, by the time you're maybe like 50, 60 years of age.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This year, my biggest goal is to get that book into like Waterstones and all that,
Mm-hmm.
which should happen in the next few months, and just get it out there and make as many sales as I can, just because I want to impact as many people's lives as possible. I want as many reviews and stuff as I can, get on as many podcasts and just share that book and just
Yeah.
hopefully touch someone's life. That's my main goal for this year. And by the time I'm 50, I've got quite a lot of big goals, man. I truly believe that I can do them. So I want to have, by the age of 50, I want to have at least 2 more books, all poetry books. I'm already working on another one now. I want to make Rich Minds, the brand, a bigger brand, a bigger clothing brand, and more of a community than just a clothing brand. My biggest goal is I want to open my own gym. That's definitely one thing I want to do, sort of a Rich Minds gym, or I've got another sort of brand as well. So I want to have a juicing business, which is that does all like fresh juices. I want to have my own gym, and then I want to have 2 more books out, and then I want to make my clothing brand successful, and then combine them all together, man. And that's it. And then have sort of like a place, like a gym where you could go, you could work on your mind, you could work on your body, and you can work on your soul. That's my goal.
Do you know, it's crazy that you say that, yeah, because there's not a lot of like fresh juice shops out there, especially like in our area as well. But I don't know if you've ever been to, you know, on Dudley Road, yeah. There's a shop called, it opened like, I want to say maybe like a year ago, year and a half ago, maybe 2 max. It's called Freshies, and it's like a fresh juice shop, bro. It's one of my brethren's shops still. So it was like the only like fresh juice place I've ever had. But the thing that people don't realize, especially for people like us when we're on our healthy living or on our healthy sort of like mindset, if I just want a quick juice and I want a strawberries, I want a mango or something like that, where I know I'm gonna get my 5 a day, and it's stuff like that that really pops off, you know, bro. Especially if you can tie it up and have like a little bit of like healthy food with it as well, bro. Like,
That's it, man. That's the goal, man. I want to have it all in the gym, like a juicing bit, a food bit, so you can finish your workout. You can go do this and
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Rooms that you can meditate. There's rooms that you can read. Just have one big community to help people better themselves, man.
I
That's
like
it.
that, man. I like that a lot, bro. I think it's important a lot of the times, yeah, when we're talking about dreams and aspirations and stuff like that, to also acknowledge what we've accomplished over the years. So what are some of your accomplishments that you've achieved that you're really proud of, bro?
That's always a tough one, man. With me, I'm always my biggest critic, man. I never take time to look back, and I've learned that you should, man, because then you just never appreciate it. But I'd say my biggest achievements was starting a clothing brand at 18 and selling a lot. I remember just being by myself, using a bit of my student loan. And what did I do? I sold like 70 t-shirts in a month. And I look back at that and I'm like, man, that was a big achievement. For an 18-year-old just doing that, I was like, that was big. And then I'd say writing a book, that's another big achievement. Getting into the TV industry as well, man. It's hard. Like you don't see many brown people in the TV industry.
Yeah.
And I've never had anyone in my family that I could look up to, or anyone to plug me up and get me in. I've done it all myself.
That's the main
And
thing
shout
as
out to
well.
my parents, man. They always believed in it, man. I remember telling them at 18, I was like, yo, just stick with me, just believe in me. Like I'll get where I want to get to. There was times where I felt like quitting, man. Don't get it twisted. When I started off in the industry, I was still working in warehouses and stuff midway through. I was doing a 3-month contract, going to Amazon, doing 12-hour shifts, putting in the grind, but I knew that it would pay off. I knew that I would be like in the industry full time, and like, yeah, I'm reaping the rewards now slowly,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
100%, bro. But like I said, I'm very, very similar to you in ways where, because we are such critical thinkers and practical people, we're always doing stuff, and then we're thinking about the next thing. Okay, what else now can I do? What's next? What's next? What's next? And doing that stuff, yeah, you don't actually take the time to actually appreciate what you've accomplished along the way. So I don't know about you, but I like to write down affirmations in it, stuff that I hope to achieve by the end of the year. And I was looking at my affirmations for 2022, like in the last 2 weeks, and I was reading through it, and I'm pretty sure everything on there, bar maybe like 3 things I've accomplished. It was like get like 10,000 views on a music video, perform on stage, go to the studio more, just stuff like that. And when I was looking back, I was like, damn, I've done all of this. It's mad. And it was just nice for me to appreciate the fact that, yo, I've put in the work, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. And, sometimes you have to just like, not in like a cocky way, but, pat yourself on the back and just say, well done, but, let's keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I feel like for people like me and you, that's the hardest thing to do. But once you start bringing in gratitude, man, it changes it even more and you
100%.
appreciate it more, man. It's like, it's a typical saying, man, enjoy the journey. But it's so true when you understand that for what it is and you truly understand enjoying the journey. It's so much better, man. Like, you
100%, my
gotta
bro.
appreciate the little wins, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. What would you say is some of like the defining moments that have shaped who you are today in your life?
That's a deep one, isn't it?
Yeah, I told people, man, we're gonna mix it with a light-hearted banter. We're gonna have some deep conversations. You know what I mean?
I look back, man, there's a lot to be fair. It's like when I think of the main ones, it was like, so I look at lockdown. I look at my dad showing me that David Goggins podcast. That was a turning point because it was like you're either all in or you're all out, and you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So that's where I started making a big change. And then I had a near death experience in 2020 lockdown, not long after that. And that just completely shifted my reality, man. That
What happened?
completely.
If you don't mind
So
me asking.
I I I think I stayed up all night. I was like 19 or something. I stayed up all night, didn't sleep, and I linked up with my mates when you could sort of go out a bit after lockdown. And I just drank, didn't eat or nothing, just drank loads. You know how Asians drink, bro.
I know, I
You know how
know.
much we used to drink. We drink ridiculous amounts, bro. And it was like, so I drank so much, and then I think I collapsed and I had a seizure. And like I was on my driveway for like 2 hours, collapsed, like foam out the mouth, everything. I technically should have died, really. And then I was like, when I woke up the next day, and I was like, man, there's a reason that I'm still alive, bro. And I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my potential. God's given me another chance at life here. And not many people get that, man. And I thought to myself, I was like, if I died that day, would I have been happy with my life? No, bro. At 19, I was like, man, if I died, then what did I achieve, bro? At that age, what have I done? How have I impacted someone's life? Do you know what? It would have been more of a burden on my parents' life if I passed that day. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, man, I could not, like, I would have not have been happy if I died that day with what I achieved. So I was like, man, I got to make it count. I got to change the world. That's where I got the mentality of fuck it. That's what led me to writing a book, doing all this. I was like, fuck what anyone thinks, bro. And there's a great quote that sticks with me is that not everyone's a creative, but everyone's a critic. So it's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. People are going to talk however they talk. I know I'm impacting one person's life. So I'd say that near death experience really changed it for me. And it was quite a spiritual journey from there onwards, and it was quite a self-healing journey of me and myself doing that.
No,
And it's led
I didn't
me,
even know that
yeah,
about
that
you,
not
bro.
many people do, to be fair,
That's
but
crazy.
that was a big catalyst in me changing. I felt like the old me died, and I wrote about stuff like that in my book. But I felt like the old me died, and it was like the butterfly and the caterpillar moment,
Yeah.
coming out the cocoon and being a butterfly. From it was a transitional period, but it was good, man. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're still here, my bro. And I feel like, I always tell people whenever they go through like some obstacles or hardships, right? Whenever you overcome that, it shows you that you're here for a reason. So now I feel like you've probably realized that as well yourself, that it's time to always just lock in and achieve what you're meant to achieve in this life and live it with no regrets.
That's
Do
it,
you know what I
man.
mean?
That's it.
But yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm happy that you're here today, my broski. You get me, helping me out on the podcast and that, man. Big up you. But I feel like you kind of already answered this question then in the last point that you were saying. But what are some of like the obstacles that you've had to overcome
Bro, I
throughout your
think being a creative, you face a lot of setbacks, man. There's a lot of people telling you don't do this, don't do that, and it's like I said before, it's people projecting their own insecurities because they don't see themselves doing it. But you gotta block out the noise, man. You gotta cancel out the noise and believe in yourself, man. I think that's the hardest thing. There's so many times, like I've achieved a lot, and I've got like the success to show for it with the book and stuff like that. But no one sees the behind the scenes stuff. No one sees how many times I wanted to quit. No one sees how many times I've just like I've stopped everything and I'm like, yeah, fuck this, ain't doing it no more. I'm gonna just go just do a normal thing. And then there's so many times where you feel like you're falling behind because everyone's got a 9 to 5. They've got stuff to show. They've got cars. They've got this and that. you're thinking, man, what the fuck am I doing, bro? Like so many times, but people don't see it, man. But you just got to stick with it. And then, yeah, you got to have the right people around you to believe in you. I'm lucky to have a great partner that believes in me, and she pushes me more than anyone, bro. She's my number one fan, and I love that. And you need that. And then my mom and dad, man, like, I'm lucky, bro, because not many parents like will believe in that. But I've told them, like, yo, just stick with me, and they've stuck with me, and they've seen it, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, I feel like when you're going through that path as a creative, man, you'll outgrow a lot of people. And it's not even in a cocky way. You'll just genuinely outgrow people because you want to better yourself. And some people don't want you to. And that's where you get that crabs in a bucket mentality where you've been in the same position as them. You've grown up in the same ends, done the same shit, and you used to drink and hang with these man. But then you evolve. They think, yo, that man's changed. And they'll just see it as a switch up. But it's because it's their own insecurity, man. They're thinking, why can he change and I can't, man? But they'll hate on you for that.
This is the most annoying thing what I've had to learn myself, yeah. You can't take everybody with you on your journey, and it's annoying because how I think as a person, right? If I'm going at a speed and I've got people around me from young, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I don't want to just like blow and then not have a life where I can celebrate with the people that I started with. So I'm gonna try grab everyone to come with me. But you kind of have to realize as well. There's a saying that my mom used to say to me, yeah, it's like you can take the horse to water, but you can't force it to
I
drink it.
love that saying,
Do you
bro. I
know what
think
I
I've
mean?
got something similar to that in my book, man. But it's
Yeah,
a great saying. It's
big
true.
facts, bro, because not everybody in life that you sort of associate with, especially from younger, not everyone's meant to be with you at the end of the journey. Like, we can only really do what we do in our lives, and then if people really want to outgrow or grow with us, then, you know, they'll do that.
It's shit because no one talks about that stage. Everyone talks. I always look at it as this analogy, like the caterpillar and the butterfly. Everyone talks about the caterpillar stage. Everyone talks about the butterfly stage. No one talks about the middle, bro. When you're in the cocoon and you're isolated, no one ever talks about that. And I feel like it's such a hard period because you're going through so much isolation. People don't understand the journey you're on. People don't believe the journey you're on. People don't want to follow that journey because they just feel like you're outgrowing them and they feel like they're being left behind. But they'll guilt trip you, bro. And it's true, like, yeah, you grow up with certain people and you think, man, I want to put everyone on. But then you got to think, man, it gets to a point where certain people are holding you back and they're not even encouraging you, bro, or they don't even support you. You get strangers, you know, you run businesses, you get strangers support you more than people
It's
you know,
crazy,
bro.
bro. Even with the music, fam, like, if I go on my stats now, I can tell you that there's 20 man from Czech Republic, yeah, listening to my
Shout out to
tunes.
Czech Republic.
Shout out to Czech Republic on a big man thing, because like they actually be streaming the hell out of my tunes. Russia, I don't even know if I can say that because I know that, you know, the UK is beefing Putin right now. But like there's bare different countries that you wouldn't actually think listen to our tracks, and then I'll go to someone that I went to school with. Oh, can you share this? And they'll just air the message, and I just think
100,
it's
man.
crazy, bro. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
100%, bro. And that's the hardest. Another hard bit, going back to the other question, being a creative, man, is when you release something and you have this expectation. I don't know if you've had it. You had this expectation. You think, yeah, everyone that is close to me, they're gonna fuck with it, man. They're gonna support me. But then when someone doesn't share something or someone doesn't buy something, you thinking, man, like, you really fucking with me. You really supporting it. I've had
The
like,
self-doubt starts to creep in as
that's
well
it,
then at
bro.
that point.
Like with you, bro, every time I've released a drop of clothing, man, you've been the first. You was the first guy who ever got a Rich Minds t-shirt, you know.
Swear
Remember when I
down.
pulled up to your
I
house?
do remember. I've still got it to this day,
You're a
bro.
Race, bro. Shout out to Race as well. Remember, he was in the back
Yeah,
garden.
yeah,
You two were the first
yeah,
two.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like everything I've ever done, you've bought it, man. And like I appreciate that, bro, all the time, bro. I've got close people who have never bought family stuff that
Yeah.
never bought it. And it's like it makes you think because then you start doubting yourself. But I feel like when you make that shift to just impact the people who you want to impact, not your family. And that's like with this book, bro. I was like, I could have self-published it, but friends and family would have bought it. I was like, I want to reach a whole new audience, man.
Exactly.
You people who don't know me to read the book and then get it, yeah, man.
I think as well, yeah, it's especially like what you said with the t-shirt. It's about the reasons why, you know, you want to buy it too. I didn't buy the t-shirt realistically at the time just to support you, because I feel like that was the worst thing that I could have done. Because what, especially with a clothing brand, what I learned is that some people buy it just to support you, but then they don't wear it. And then obviously every time they do wear it, now you're a walking advertisement for my product. And what I bought the Rich Mind t-shirt for specifically is because I believed in the message. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, then so on a deeper level, what is having a rich mind? And I feel like that's what I resonated with the brand, because I'm all about, you know, improving your mental health, improving your mentality, trying to drive forward and improve yourself as a person. And I feel like that's what I get from that brand. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I do rate it highly.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. That's what the brand tries to stand for, man. That's like the whole slogan, money can't buy a rich mind. It isn't as like cringy as you think it is. It's actually like all this discipline and all this mindset that you've got. You can't buy that mindset. You can't just rock up somewhere and just be like, yo, I want to be disciplined to just like buy something to do that. You can't buy a pill or anything to do that. That's why the logo is a brain in a baggie, because it's like only you can do that, bro. It's all internal, man. You got to shift your mindset. You got the power within to do that.
Nah,
And that's what it's
100%.
all about.
I do really rate that, bro. I'm gonna hit you with another deep question now.
I'm
Still,
ready, bro. Go, let's go.
you get me? If you could go back and you can give your younger self one piece of advice right now, what would it be?
Trust the process, bro. That's it, man. I ain't gonna be like, yo, do this, do that. I'm grateful for everything that's happened to me, good, bad, everything, because it's led me to where I am now, man. You gotta embrace the good, you gotta embrace the bad. So I'd say trust the process, man, because everything's gonna work out. I'm still telling myself to trust the process now. Cause man, I've had deep. I meditate a lot, so I've had deep meditations where like I've met my future self and stuff like I've seen a day in the life. I've seen stuff to do with my future self, and it's all just trust the process. Same messages I get back, bro. You gotta just believe in yourself. God's got a plan, man. You just gotta follow it, man. You
It's
just gotta
weird that you
believe it.
say that though, because I've had the same experience, but on the opposite end, because I do a lot of meditation too, and I was meditating one day. Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 a.m. In the morning, and when I meditate, right, I like to meditate in complete darkness with like a few candles on, just so I can really feel at peace in it. And while I was meditating, I saw an image of myself from when I was younger, and I was almost looking at my younger self, and my younger self was looking at me. And I just remember how proud my younger self was looking at me, because at the time, yeah, obviously you lot probably wouldn't have realized it, but when I was a kid, I had so much going on in like my household and stuff, and just in my area, where I had bare confidence issues, you know, like I had mad anxiety in school, and I didn't really have like the best time in school, just based off what was going on in my home life, you get me? So I had to really, really lock in and get to a stage where I was confident within myself to even be like this point where I am now. But looking back at my younger self, man, everything that I wanted to be, I became. Do you know what I mean? There's still more that I feel like I need to become in the future, just so I can be that finished article. But you know, it's all about like, you know, being proud of proud of your journey,
That's it,
bro.
man. You gotta think, man. If younger you was here now, man, they would love to have someone like you to look up to,
Nah,
bro. They'd be
big
so proud
facts.
of you, man. That's what
Yeah.
you gotta think. You
That's
gotta think,
why
yeah.
there's no shade to my brother X5 Dubs. You know who you are, but yo, ask everyone who the favorite uncle is. That's all I'm saying. So there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? But you're back to the serious topics though, bro. I want to ask you now, because this is another section. It's a little bit of a deep conversation, but at the same time, I really want to pick your brains
I
and
love
pick
the
all the
deep stuff,
audience.
bro. I love all the
Do
deep
you know what I
combos,
mean?
bro.
Listen, I tell people, yeah, all the time when I'm having a conversation, yeah, I'm a bit of a slag for a deep convo. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you know what I mean? Cat Slater, big up you. But what's a belief that you sort of like held strongly 5 years ago that has changed since?
Oh, that's a tough question, man. A belief that I held. I think the fact that I would bring everyone through, man. I think I just felt the need to like just if I'm evolving, I felt the need to bring everyone with me, man. But that's not the case, bro. I used to like everything that I'd put myself on, whether it's meditation, breath work, working out, I'd be like, yo, you gotta try this, you gotta do this, it'll better you. And I was trying to like speed up other people's journeys, bro. And doesn't work like that, man. You're on your own path, you're on your own journey. It's like you said, you could take a horse to water, man. It's down to them if they want to drink it, bro. Some people just aren't cut out for that journey as well. Some people their journey's delayed. Some people it might hit them in 10 years' time. So that was the biggest belief I had. I was like, yeah, I can change people, bro. I was like, I want to help people, but like in a way where it wasn't forceful, but in a way it was. Do you know what I mean? Only because I loved or cared for that person. It was like, I'd be like, yo, you got to do this, you got to try this. But man, you can't do that. And that was one belief. Now when people complain to me, or because I know a lot of people complain and they don't want to do anything about it. And I know when some people are genuine and they want the advice and they'll do something about it and I'll help them. But now I won't go out my way to help someone who I know doesn't want to be helped, whereas before I'd try and force it. So that's one big belief that I think has changed with me. And I feel like that just comes with time and growth and just age, man, just wisdom. It just comes with that, like.
That's the main thing, bro. Like I relate to that so much, bro. I feel like the only person that I've ever had in my life, right, which has been on my type of wavelength, fully 100%, is my nephew, and it's weird. It's so strange to see because we're like this,
Yeah.
and like
Bro,
he's
I've seen
literally
it
my
from young.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
man.
seen
From
it from
bro, from
young.
like from time that kid was born, yeah, me and him have just been like this, but he's like my little brother now, and it's crazy because he's the only person that thinks how I think to a T. Like I think we've had like 2 arguments in our entire life, which is crazy to me. But it's mad, bro. Like when you go through that journey, like I've had like some of my best friends like at the time, right, where I've tried to just get them to think like me, and you can just tell that they're not interested, and that's okay as well. Like not everyone has to be on the same wavelength, but you know when you just want to do well so much and you want to take everyone with you, it's a bit annoying sometimes when people you just don't really feel like they're progressing. Do you know what I mean?
That's it, man. Everyone's on their own journey. Like I said, some people progress, some people don't, man. But you feel a bit of guilt because you feel like, yeah, I've outgrown that person. I wanted to bring them along. They've been with me for so long, but you got to remember, you became friends with them when you was vibrating at a certain frequency, man. You was on a certain level. If like, say, if you was a heavy drinker, and most of the friends around you, you would have met in the pub. You would have met when you're at that shit stage of your life where you're just drinking and that. Then you start evolving your mind, you start getting into like bettering yourself, you start meeting people on that level, then you're vibrating at a different frequency. And then you lock in with different friends, but then you feel like you're kind of in the middle, you want to drag them along that way, but sometimes you just gotta cut the cord, man. And it's like you gotta look out for yourself as well, innit? I mean, some people, some old friends will try and like they will try and take inspiration from you and will try and follow your path. But like I said, man, you can't force no one, innit?
Exactly. That's the main thing, bro. Like, and everyone gets to a stage where they're ready at their own individual point in their life. So as long as people are evolving, then I've got no issues helping out somebody that I haven't spoke to in like a good few years, as long as I can see that they want to put the work in, man. Do you know what I mean? Another question I've got for you, bro. Like I said, I'm trying to pick your brains at this point, bro. So if you had unlimited resources right now, yeah,
Yeah.
what's the first problem that you would try to resolve?
For me,
Yeah,
like
for
with
you.
myself, ooh, unlimited
It doesn't
resources.
necessarily have to be a personal thing. Like it could
Mm.
be in the world. Like, and if you just had the unlimited resources right now, what's the first thing that you try to fix?
Oh, in the world, bro, I just try and
Anything?
bring peace, bro. That's all I want to do,
Yeah.
man. Just bring peace and spread love, man. That's like I try and implement that in everything I do, bro. With the clothing, with the music, with the book. I just want to spread love, bro. People should just love everyone. We're all one. Do you get me? There's too much
Yeah.
division, bro, nowadays,
Nah, big
and I
facts.
feel like the system's just got it all fucked up for us to all to hate on each other, man. And the message of love, the message of oneness, it's kind of fading a bit. And I feel like we got to bring that back, man. I feel like there's way too much division, bro, and there's too much hate. So I'd probably, if I had all the resources, I'd probably fix that, man. I feel like we're all better united, man. We're all better to help each other. And then it goes into business as well, bro. You've seen it, man. People who you know will hate on you and get jealous just because you're
It's crazy.
succeeding. Well, like, man, you gotta drop the ego and help each other evolve, man. Just you could push it better. Like you bringing me on this, you're helping me, I'm helping you.
Yeah,
We're pushing each
100%.
other, bro, and that's it. We
Mm.
always have, man.
Yeah,
We
from
always
from
have.
young, bro. It's crazy. I feel like, especially in business, right? One thing that I've had to learn the hard way, because I always like to be a leader, and I always like to do stuff like off the back and be like, yeah, I can be the team captain. But I remember I was watching a podcast one time, and the message that was put out there was sometimes you have to be okay with not being the king on the chessboard. Sometimes you have to be the pawn. Sometimes you have to be the knight. Sometimes you have to be the castle. As long as you're playing your role, and at the end of the day, the team wins, you win. And that's the sort of like the long-term thought process that I've had to adapt into my own life. It's okay not to be player one sometimes. And even my niece will know this when we were playing Super Mario Bros. Back a day, fam. I was always Mario. I was always player. You could not make me be Luigi. I've never been a player two. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like it's because of stuff like that from young that I've always been like that, where I had that mentality where I always just wanted to be the leader. And sometimes other people are better at certain things than you, and you have to be okay with just playing your position.
Definitely,
Do you know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like ego gets in the way too much with
100%,
with a
man.
lot of people. You gotta be humble. Sometimes, man, someone will know more than you on the topic,
Yeah.
man, and you just gotta sit there and take it in, man. You just
Mm,
gotta be a sponge. But too many people have too much ego, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck that, man."
that's
Do
the
you know what I
thing.
mean?
I'm quite a strong, like, minded person as well. I've got very strong opinionated views on certain things.
Yeah,
And sometimes even when I'm wrong and like I get told that I'm wrong, you have to just be okay with being like, you know what? Fair enough. I was
that's it,
wrong
man.
and you were
Yeah,
right. Do you know what I
takes a
mean?
bigger man to put your hands up sometimes, man. But that's the way. That's the way you learn, innit? And you're
100%,
evolving,
bro.
man. Yeah,
Mm.
that's it.
What's some of the things, right? Or maybe I don't want to ask it too broad to you, but maybe give me a couple things that some people may misunderstand about yourself.
I feel like I'm a proper misunderstood person, bro. I feel like I don't know. I feel like most creative people are misunderstood, and hence why they turn to creativity to express their art. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've just got love and good intentions, but sometimes it could be taken in a wrong way that I'm being harsh to people. Like I said before, when I want to help people better themselves, and I'm like, "Yo, do this, do that." Some people will take it as like I'm just attacking them, or just be like, "Yo," if I'm like, "Yo, get in the gym, this and that," they'll be like, "Oh, you just coming at me in a harsh way." That's why, like, when I show people David Goggins, he's quite got a harsh approach, and some people like it, some people don't. I feel like, yeah, that's one thing. I'm just coming from a place of love, and I feel like some people take it as like harsh criticism or something. I just want people to succeed, bro. I can't express how much love I got in my heart to just see people winning, bro. Like I genuinely mean it from the bottom of my heart. When I see people doing something good, when I see people succeeding, or someone that I know like they've hit a new achievement or something, it makes me happy. But I feel like I've achieved it. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
but
that's it,
I feel
man.
like that's the way you gotta be, man. You just gotta have love for people, and your time will come, bro. You gotta have gratitude. You can't hate on people, and I feel like that's the way more people should be, man. And you'll progress more, man. Yeah.
No, 100%. I completely agree with you on that, bro. Completely agree with you. We've we've approached the time, bro, where I like to call this the quick fire round. Do you know what I mean? The quick fire round, because I'm gonna ask you a quick series of questions, right? You don't have to give me one word answers. It can just be a little bit of an explanation, but I want you to just say the first thing that comes into your head, though. Yeah, I don't want you to think about it too much. All right.
I try not to be too deep.
All right. All right. So, first question: if your life had a theme song, what would that music be?
Theme song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, like so many theme songs just popped into my head. Was like I'm thinking the Scarface theme song because it's quite
Yeah,
serious,
yeah,
quite
yeah, yeah.
proper. But then I'm thinking, yo, like Rick and Morty theme song, bro. I'm like, sometimes I'm so serious, but then I play around a lot as well, man. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm a crazy guy sometimes, man. So I'll probably one of them too, man. I could be either one.
Okay. Okay,
I
okay.
like that question though. It's a good
I
question.
rate it, broski. I rate it. All right, then. What's a weird or unusual talent that you've got that people may not know?
Usual or weird talent. I don't know, man. Like poetry. Not many people do
I didn't
poetry.
even know that you did poetry myself. I can't lie.
It's raw, man, and it brings out a vulnerability in yourself, but you gotta have some balls to just do it, man. You know what? Still to this day, I've never read my poems out on a social media platform or read it to anyone apart from my partner. I've never had the balls to go out there and do that, man. So I'll probably say that maybe, yeah.
No way. Okay, then. If you could have dinner
Hmm.
with three people, dead or alive,
I like
who
that
would they be and
question,
why?
bro. So in Sikhism, there's the 10 gurus. So I'd probably pick the first guru, which is Guru Nanak Dev Ji. I would love to talk to him about his spirituality and how level-headed he was and spreading the message of oneness. Then the 10th guru, which was Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he sacrificed his whole family to push the message of Sikhism. And I feel like I would chat to them because it's two complete opposite ends of Sikhism. Yeah. So I'd chat to them too. And then the third one. Do you know what? I love Bob Marley, man. I literally love Bob Marley, bro. I literally listened to him growing up, and I just love his message. And I just feel like just sitting and just not even asking him a question, bro. Just letting him talk.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd
love
love
to
to
do that.
smoke with Bob Marley. I can't lie. I feel like he definitely fucked me up, but like I'd love to smoke with him still. Okay, then if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, superpower, bro, to heal. I'd just love to heal
Yeah.
people. That would
You
be
should
it.
proper like just
Straight
chill
up,
guy
man.
out you,
That's
bro.
it, man.
Like you're
That's
probably a
it.
nice
Straight
guy,
up.
bro. Nah, I rate it, man. Well, who's your favorite superhero then?
Man, I always love Spider-Man, bro. Always grew
Yo,
up watching
yo,
Spider-Man.
yo. Touch you on that. Yo, there's certain people out there, yeah, that try to tell me that Iron Man is the best super. I
bro.
don't know what go on
We
for them
grew up on
people. That
Spider-Man,
of
bro.
course we
Remember
did,
them
bro.
days? Yeah.
Yo, still to this day, fam. Okay, big question here. Ronaldo or Messi?
Oh, bro, you know me, Ronaldo, man. I grew up
Ronaldo,
United fan, bro. Remember
CR7.
the playground them days?
Of
When we used
course,
to be like, yo, I'm being Ronaldo
bro.
today.
I remember when I got Ronaldo 100 club in match attacks. I was
Yeah. Do you remember them days? Yo,
yeah.
those are the days, yeah. Ronaldo 100%, man.
Okay. If you had £1 billion tomorrow, what's the first thing that you do with the money?
Bro, I don't even know, 1 billion, man. I'll probably just invest in all the businesses I wanna do, make them a reality and help the community, man. Make that gym,
Yeah,
get all my books out, make the Mind Fuel juices, which is the brand that I wanna do. I just make a loving community out of that, man.
that's
Yeah,
it,
that's
man.
it.
I rate it. You got a favorite book?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I've got a lot of books that I love, man. Obviously, both of David Goggins' books are amazing. Can't Hurt Me and there was a Never Give Up. That one. What are the books? Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. That was a book that changed my life completely, bro. That shifted my mentality a lot. My own book. I actually, you know what? Not even to be cocky, I'd
Yeah,
never
haven't
rated
you?
my own work, but you know what? My book is good, man.
Well, it means a lot to you though
It
as
means
well.
a lot
So
to me, so
it
I'd
should
probably
be.
put that up there as one of my favorites. Yeah, man.
You ever watch Read Rich Dad
Nah,
Poor
I've
Dad?
never read that one, but
You
it's been
should
suggested to me
you should
quite a
definitely
bit,
take
man.
that
I
one
need
in
to,
still. Take
yeah,
that
I
one
need
in,
to
bro.
read that one.
But what's your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. Do you know what? Because I grew up playing football. You know how much I used to love football, man. I'd probably say just the footballing days, man. You take them for granted when you're younger. You feel like it's always going to be there. You feel like, yeah, I'm never going to stop playing. And then you don't notice until you stop playing how much it impacted your life, how much it benefited you. And if I took what I know now and applied it to that, I feel like I would have enjoyed it even more, man. But yeah,
100%.
I'd probably say that.
I stopped playing too early, man, and always been one of my biggest regrets. I think I stopped playing like when I was like 13 or 14, and I started doing acting instead. But I genuinely just love football, man. Even if I play it now, if I do at 5-a-side it, I still get those little flashbacks of when us lot was on the playground, and that's still. Do you know what one of my favorite childhood memories is? Just because you were there, fam. You probably already know what I'm gonna say. Do you remember that day we was in Crease's yard,
On the trampoline, yeah, bro. That's one of my favorite childhood
and then you
memories.
beat us out the yard, and then 10 minutes. It wasn't even 10 minutes. Like 5 minutes later, it's just like, where you lot going, bro? Come back inside.
Those are the good days, man. Good memories in it. Play fighting on the trampoline, man.
I don't even remember why he kicked us out, fam.
Bro, you don't remember?
No.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell this story now. So we was jumping on the trampoline and we was like doing some WWE shit, man. And we was fucking about. I'll never forget this. I was refereeing
Yeah.
and you choked him out. And man was tapping, yeah. Man was like, I was like, yo, Kyle, stop, bro. Man's tapping, man's tapping. You was choking him out. He was like, yo. And then he got so choked out, bro. I think he started crying, man. And he was like, yo, what happened, bro? What happened? And then he was like, yo, get the fuck out. And then we just went out, bro. It was a joke, man.
I don't even. You know what? I remember now that I remember it like it was yesterday. Now you said it, but I did not see him tap. I swear to God, I
Bro,
didn't see him tap.
and then me and you just walked off laughing, bro. And he got called back like 2 minutes later, and it was good days, man. Good days.
Yeah, man, I'll never forget that. God damn. Final quick fire round question then for you. What's the best and worst advice you've ever received in your life?
Ooh, that's tough, man. I'd say the best is be present. That's definitely the best. It took me a while to understand that. It took me a while to understand just be present in the moment. Just live that moment as it is. There, don't think about the future. Don't think about the past. It takes a lot to be present. Hence why I'm still working on it. I would not say that I'm always present in the moment, but I'd say meditation and that has led me to be more present. But once you understand that advice, I feel like that's the best advice you can have.
That's
is to
yeah,
just,
I'll like that message a lot, to be
the
honest.
worst. I don't know, man. I don't know what the worst is, to be fair. I don't know. Try not to focus on the bad advice,
Nah,
but it just goes
100%.
out. That's why it ain't stuck with me.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I feel like as creatives as well, like we get told a lot of bad advice.
That's
Do you
it,
know what I
actually.
mean? Like a lot of times I've just been told, people don't really make it doing the rare tear. And
Yeah.
it's just like, listen, I'm not gonna
Actually,
listen to
you
that.
just made me think the worst advice I probably had is don't do it, because there's so many
Yeah,
things that people told me don't do, and I've done it and I've succeeded,
yeah.
and then they all clapped in. But
That's the thing.
But it's like people don't want to follow that journey. It's like I got something in my book that talks about planting a seed. You're watering it. People are thinking, what the fuck are you watering, man? But it's about a bamboo tree and it grows over, I think, 90 foot, but it takes 5 years to grow.
That's it.
And it's like people don't see what you're watering, and then in 5 years they'll be clapping you saying, "Yeah, I saw you watering that
Yeah,
plant."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you know what I mean? It just shows, man. People only hop on when they want to hop on.
Exactly. That's the thing, man. Yo, if you're one of those people, just make sure you don't hop on too late. That's all I'm saying, man. But a final message that you want to leave with the audience, then, like a final thoughts. Is there anything that you kind of want to put out there? Any messaging? Any sort of last words? Anything you want to promote? Take it away. The floor is yours, my bro.
Man, that's tough, man, because I feel like I ramble, hence why my book's called Poetic Gibberish, but I feel like I speak some gibberish. But no, I would say to anyone out there, man, just go on that journey to better yourself. Face yourself in the mirror. Don't run from your demons. Face them. Be friends with them. Like, be at peace with them. Do you know what I mean? People always want to get to their higher self, but don't appreciate their lower self. And you can't get to the higher without your lower. You gotta have that yin and yang, bro. You gotta have that balance. So I would say go on that journey. Don't be afraid. Push yourself. It's not easy, but just push yourself to goal, man. If you're not, I had a great quote, and it was like, if you're not changing, you're choosing. It's like you gotta go get out your comfort zone. That's my advice to people. Yeah, and then yeah, I would say check out Rich Minds Clothing on Instagram. It's Rich_Minds UK. I got my book coming out later on this year called Poetic Gibberish, where chaos meets beauty. It's all about the self-healing journey. And then yeah, man, check out my old music if you really want to check it out. I got a
Check
song
out his
with you,
music.
bro.
Yeah,
Got a song
yeah.
with you
Right.
on
I
there.
don't know if I don't know if we want to promote that one there.
And that's it, man. That's literally it. And then you might see my name in the credits on TV now and then.
Nah, for real. I
Yeah.
swear that I've seen it though. I've seen it on a couple
a
still.
lot of cooking shows, man. But that's it, man. I'm hopefully out here to change the world one mind at a time.
Nah, you will, bro. I can tell just from your mentality and your mindset, bro. Like
Appreciate that,
you've got a
man.
lot of good in you, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Where can people just find you if they just want to chat to you? They want any life advice? They want any?
So I got my Instagram page, which is at Kaz _.Kaz_, bit of a complicated one. Or you can get me through at Rich_Minds UK. I've got one for the book called A Poetic Gibberish 333. So any of them, man, just shout me.
That's
I'm
it,
happy to
man.
help, man. I always got time for people.
That's it, man. Well, Kaz, big love for coming through, man. I really appreciate it, man. You've helped me out a lot today, and you know, you've also educated me, which is the main thing of what I want this podcast to be.
Appreciate that,
You're
man.
educating myself, the audience, and you know, you've got a lot of good messages to put out there to people. So big up yourself 100 times, man. Love for coming
I
down.
appreciate it, bro. Thank you for giving me the platform to sort of share my knowledge and share my story. man.
Anytime, bro. Listen, we'll chop it up, and you will definitely be someone I'll have back on this podcast at some point. But guys, you know, this has been the Rise and Grind podcast. Thank you for tuning in. You know, I'm gonna make this like a consistent thing. So, you know, tap in. There's gonna be a link in the bio where you can obviously find Kaz, everything that he's doing, myself and my social media as well. So catch you on the next episode.